Hello and welcome to Rise Unwind. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we talk to people from across the country about things you could do right now in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
Listen, when we're done here, I want you to go down to the grocery store, buy yourself a cake, and just smash it and smear it all around. You're going to be like, oh, because this is a ton of fun. Smashing cakes is super fun.
Nick was diagnosed at 13 months old with an immune deficiency, which is terrifying, but kind of a relief to know what it is that's been going on. And his home care team, his nurses especially, and the pharmacists really helped us understand what that meant.
If it wasn't for the service and sacrifice of the previous 250 years this country has been around, for those brave men and women that have always said, you know, I will go and do, we just got to preserve that. We can't take it for granted.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. Ever wonder what it takes to drive a massive truck across a sheet of ice? Knowing one wrong move could mean disaster. The hit History Channel series Ice Road Truckers has returned with its most intense season yet. Higher stakes, deadlier conditions, and shorter windows to deliver life-saving supplies to some of the most remote communities on Earth. Joining me is a fan favorite and veteran trucker, Todd Dewey, who's back behind the wheel for season 12. Welcome to the show, Todd. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm actually standing on solid ground right now, so I'm feeling pretty confident.
All right, there you go. For those of us, or for those out there who haven't seen it, what do you think makes ice road trucking such a dangerous and vital job?
Oh my gosh. Well, you hit it all when you explained it right off the get-go and letting them know who you were going to be talking to. It starts out from day one and it don't stop until the season's actually over with and you're on a plane flying home. I mean, what it takes to be an ice road trucker is a whole lot of crazy and a lot of trucking skills and a lot of years behind the wheel. That's what it honestly takes. And, you know, we go up there and fight Mother Nature like nobody's business, from snowstorms to thin ice to losing your loads to truck breakdowns and there's some things that happen this season. I know that we've had lots of other seasons and lots of things have happened, but I don't know why or for what reason, but things happen on this season that have never happened before. We had trailers going losing oversized loads. Some of the worst weather conditions I think we've ever been faced with up there, including very thin ice due to climate change, and a very short window to go get a lot of loads in these communities. And what people don't understand is they're like, well, you're just driving down the road and just delivering a load. It's not like that. It's what we got to go through to get these loads into the community. Some people say, well, why is it worth it? Why do you want to go out there and risk your life and just to drive on an ice road and drive across the ice? Well, I tell you what, when you battle Mother Nature the way we got to battle it, and you get that load into the community, and these communities come out, and it's like Christmas time to them, and the little kids come up and they give you a hug, and they're so excited to be getting their new bike, maybe that's in their load of supplies, or their food that they need for the remainder of the year after the ice roads, you know, when they all melt and they go away. That's the only access they have to get these supplies. So when I stop and think of my kids or my granddaughters going without food or supplies that they need to live throughout a year, that's how important it is. And they show their appreciation when you show up there, and it makes it all worthwhile.
And you face some brutal hauls. What's the toughest one that sticks with you?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many over the hauls. I can't give any away this year. You're going to have to put your seatbelt on and buckle up and watch a show and go for a crazy ride of this. But there's been so many times that I think I broke a couple records over the years for some of the heaviest hauls on the ice. And there's been a lot of situations. There's been a lot of scary moments. Let's put it that way.
And season 12, it marks really a big return after a long hiatus. What's it been like getting back on the ice kind of this time around?
Oh, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. After having 8 years off and spending and doing a little family time and doing some graduations with my daughters and getting my new grandbabies and doing all that, and then getting the call to go back up after 8 years of not being on the ice, I was nervous. I'm not going to sit here and BS you. I was like, oh my gosh, because then you get flooded with all those emotions of knowing what's about to happen, how thin the ice can get, Mother Nature, the snowstorms you're going to get yourself into. Am I going to be able to get these loads? And do I still have what it takes to be an ice road trucker? And so the first couple of 2-3 runs up there, I was nervous like nobody's business, thinking, oh my, because it just flooded me with emotions. The second I hit that first ice road, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm here and doing this again. So it was quite the adventure, and this is definitely one season you are not going to want to miss.
And this season, we're seeing some veterans and rookies out there. How do the new drivers handle the pressure compared to some of the seasoned pros like you?
I don't know. I've been with a couple new season drivers that have been up there over the years of ice road trucking, and of course, I don't ever leave a driver behind. If I'm with somebody and they're new and they don't know, they're in a situation where they don't know what to do or how to get out of it or how to fix their truck, I'm not going to leave them. I'm going to stay there and help them until we get everybody safe and we're back up and rolling and get out of Mother Nature's elements and get back to rolling. But as far as the new guys this year, I didn't get a lot of trucking time with them. I know that they were nervous. I did talk to them on the side a little bit. And when we were back in getting loads, they're like, oh my gosh, this is not what I expected. I didn't think the roads were going to be this brutal. I didn't think Mother Nature is going to be this brutal. And it's like, I asked them the question, well, what do you think about coming back for another season? If the Muskie Creek asks you to come back and be another driver again this next year, they're like, oh man, I'm going to have to think about it because it's that brutal. I mean, these road conditions put you through things you never think your body or physically and emotionally that you'd ever be put through. It's pretty amazing.
And beyond the danger and the paychecks, what's the real reward that's keeping you back hitting the road over and over again?
Getting those loads to the communities, those hugs and those hot plate of food after battling and putting your body and getting those loads in the community from Mother Nature and battling those ice roads. When you see the smiles on those families' faces and the way they came up and they give you a hug, and it's not just like a hug like, oh, no, it's a hug like you can tell the appreciation in it. And they kiss you on the cheek or whatever they do, and they just look at you in the eyes and say, thank you. We needed this. That's what being an ice road trucker is about, and that's why I love doing it so much.
Do the words global warming scare you?
Oh, absolutely. It scares me because of the fact of it almost feels like there's going to come a time to where those communities can't get their supplies that they need to survive and take care of their families, and that is definitely very scary.
Todd, I want to thank you for joining me today. You can watch Todd and the rest of the Fearless crew now on Ice Road Truckers Season 12, airing Wednesday nights on History Channel and streaming the next day at history.com/Ice Road Truckers. Hey, Todd, thanks for joining me today.
You betcha. Hey, stay safe out there and buckle up for the first episode. You're going to need it.
What happens when somebody who's already built a career in music and business decides to tell a different kind of story? Splash City is a new crime drama set in the city of San Francisco, exploring family, loyalty, and choices that changes a life. Today, we're joined by the film's executive producer, co-writer, and co-director, Berner. Welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
Thank you for having me. I'm feeling good.
It's good to have you here. You've had success in the music business, your own personal business, but Splash City is your first feature film. What made this the right time to tell this story?
I feel like I've already done so much music already. I've already done, I wrote a book, got the New York Times bestseller with my book recently. So I'm like, right now, film makes the most sense. It's like the next level of storytelling for me, I feel like.
And this movie follows two brothers. They're trying to escape a very different paths. What about it, that relationship, that made you want to build a film around it?
I feel like we all know a pair of brothers that go through different things. I have a brother, and I've met multiple brothers that have someone going down the right path, doing the right thing, and then someone just kind of influenced by the wrong crowd, right? It's something we all grew up with, at least if you kind of come from the streets, or you kind of come from a rougher upbringing. So I feel like we wanted to address that. And the whole, period of time in San Francisco where the smash and grab was so real. It was a really big thing for quite some time in SF.
And you centered all of this around San Francisco. And a lot of film and media, we get the Olsen twins from Full House, we maybe get The Room, but you decided to do an authentic approach to attach to that city. What made you do that and why?
I'm born and raised here. I feel like it's missing. You never see the other side of SF. You would either see, like you said, Full House, Mrs. Doubtfire, old school Cuffs with Christian Slater. It was all great. But one, it's a beautiful city. It deserves to be on camera. And two, there's a whole nother world that no one's even seen before. So that's what we're here for.
You've worn a lot of hats on this project. You're executive producer, you're writer, co-director. What do you think you learned about filmmaking that surprised you the most?
Everything. I think the biggest thing I learned was you have to have a great line producer. I learned that the hard way. But other than that, I feel like I learned just on how to fund a film, how to run a tight ship to get the shots you need done. I learned a lot about posts, mixing, sound design, the whole nine. So I feel like we're gamed all the way up right now. And
a lot of the time, you learn something when you start a film. If you could go back in time, whisper in your ear on day one when you're starting things out, what would be one of the little pieces of advice that you'd give yourself on day one that would make this project, filming, and everything much better or easier?
Probably to focus on the way to preserve the budget a little more. We did this film for $2 million. It looks like a $10 million film, honestly. The quality of it, the way we executed it. But I feel like I could have maybe kept that budget a little tighter.
Okay.
I should have paid attention a little more to logistics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for any filmmakers out there?
Yeah, just take your time to plot it out. We went head first. We didn't really think about talent's going to stay here. We have to get them over here. We're going to shoot here. And tomorrow, I would rather just get the logistics all the way down first, you know.
Anything that you are working on next that we might be knowing about?
Yeah, I'm working on a scripted series about my life, about cookies or whatnot, so that's going to be tight. It's with a pretty big studio. We'll announce that soon. I'm working on my next feature film. It's like a marijuana trafficking film, and maybe like a urban type horror.
All right, I want to thank you for joining me today. Splash City is available now in select theaters across the country. Please go to their website and check out where you could find Splash City airing near you.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Have you checked your emergency supplies lately? Florida's Permanent Disaster Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday is a great opportunity to replace or upgrade important safety items while saving on sales tax. Joining us is Stephanie Berzinski, fire safety educator for Accetta, with tips on making the most of it. Welcome to the show, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having us. It's such a good time to go shopping.
Okay, so what products are included in Florida's Disaster Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday, and how can families make the most of these savings?
Yes, well, it's always better to be prepared in the event of a home emergency, especially when it comes to home fires or carbon monoxide leaks. So all the products you see behind me, smoke alarms, CO alarms, and fire extinguishers all qualify under this permanent sales tax holiday, which is even better for Floridians because you can go shopping any time of year and save big. And it's really important, too, because a lot of people don't realize, but according to the NFPA, you only have 2 minutes or less to safely escape a house fire because they are burning hotter and faster than ever before due to all the synthetic materials in our home. So smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms are critical devices that can help to save your life and the life of your loved ones.
And we often think about storms this time of year, but why should fire safety also be part of every family's emergency plan?
Absolutely. You know, whether there's a storm or an everyday accident, right? We've seen the fires start because a pet chewed on a lithium-ion battery or somebody knocked over a candle or cooking. Believe it or not, cooking is the #1 cause of house fires. So these accidents tend to happen pretty regularly. And that's the one thing we find a lot. People tend to dismiss the idea that they'll ever experience a home fire or a carbon monoxide emergency. It's just not the case. Again, according to the NFPA, there is a house fire reported in this country every 96 seconds, or a home fire related death, sadly, every 3 hours. Those statistics are staggering. Again, you have to be prepared. You need to make sure that you have working smoke and CO alarms. And Dan, just because you see it installed in your ceiling, the bigger question is it working properly? Are you testing it? Hit that test button. Make sure it's sounding. Also, do you know the age of your alarms? This is another thing people don't realize, but smoke and CO alarms, depending on the model, have to be replaced every 5 to 10 years. Not just the battery. That means the entire alarm needs to be taken down and replaced. So this is a good time to do it.
So what are some of the most important fire safety items or habits every household should have in place?
Sure. So again, you need to have working smoke alarms, and you should have them on every level of your home and inside every bedroom. You also need to have working carbon monoxide alarms, again, every level of your home and outside of sleeping areas. And you should have a fire extinguisher on every level of your home and in critical areas where fires tend to start. So again, that's the kitchen where we see cooking fires. It's the laundry room. It's the garage. All of these places should have coverage with a fire extinguisher.
All right, where can people go for more information?
Well, you can always head on over to Accetta.com. That's KIDDE.com. You can see our full lineup of product as well as get a hold of very important fire and carbon monoxide education for the entire family.
Stephanie, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having us. Stay safe and enjoy shopping.
How can we better support the men and women who've served our country? As America celebrates its 250th birthday, a new campaign is raising money to help veterans, military families, and caregivers across the country. Joining us are Medal of Honor recipient Clint Romesha and Lorraine, presidents and CEO of America's Warrior Partnership. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, too, for joining me today. Tell us about America's 250 campaign and the work being done through America's Warrior Partnership.
You know, the America's 250 campaign came out of this initiative with Pure Talk Wireless trying to raise $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership for America's 250th birthday. What better way to celebrate it than raising these funds to help support an amazing national nonprofit that wants to sit there and their overall mission is to partner with local communities to empower veterans to improve the quality and save lives of those great men and women that have served this country. It's just phenomenal.
Clint, as a Medal of Honor recipient, what does America's 250th anniversary mean to you personally?
You know, I look at my time in the service, but I can't help but think I didn't get to that point if it wasn't for the service and sacrifice of the previous 250 years this country has been around. For those brave men and women that have always said, you know, I will go and do, we just got to preserve that. We can't take it for granted, because if we want it around for another 250 years, we got to make sure those that have worn the uniform, that when they take it off, that they're not forgotten. They're not going to feel left behind. They're not going to feel left out, that they're going to be taken care of for life. And great organizations like America Warrior Partnership steps in and tries to intervene before crisis happens. Upstream approach, a 1v1 approach, to make sure we know all the veterans out there, but it comes from the support of great American-based companies like Pure Talk Wireless that provides great discounted cell phone programs that you can round up to help support the cause. If you're a customer, or if you're a new customer coming on, you can do a one-time donation when you check out at shopping, or do a monthly roundup. It's just been amazing to see the support, but we got to keep it going.
And why is supporting American-led businesses an important part of this campaign?
I think, American-led businesses are leading the way in serving veterans without a doubt. A lot of them are veteran-owned. They're doing great. There's American-led businesses that are committing to hiring 100,000 million veterans and their families into the workforce. You've got others that are focused on reducing the veteran suicide rate. You've got others like Pure Talk, led by a Vietnam veteran with combat time, who started a company and said, hey, I want to support America's Warrior Partnership and the mission that you have. And the mission that we have is unique. We're looking to build a relationship with veterans ahead of the crisis, understand where they are in their life, where they want to go, connect them to government and non-government resources to do it, and to do it even in communities like Tampa. I spent 10 years at Special Operations Command and lived in Tampa for a long time. It's definitely the place that has a lot of resources. And for us, it's how do I get these people who might need help to the resources that they need, and then stick with them over time so that they have greater success.
What are some simple ways people can support veterans, military families in their own communities?
Yeah, the number one way for us is we have a program called If You Know a Veteran, Tell a Veteran. It's a way that non-veterans and veterans can volunteer to spread the word, tell others about who we are, so that we can meet someone before they're in crisis. That's really the biggest things to help. The other way is to donate. And one of the best ways to donate is smart ways. Sign up with Pure Talk, reduce your cell phone bill by 50%, add a roundup on it, or make an individual donation. But the bottom line is, help us know the veteran in one hand, and help us have the resources to do it in another.
All right, so where can people go for more information?
For America's Warrior Partnership, go to americaswarriorpartnership.org. And for Pure Talk, go to puretalk.com.
Hey, I really want to thank you two for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Behind every great athlete is a strong support system. For Wendy Stacken, that journey began with a difficult diagnosis for her son, Nick. But today, he's a longtime Special Olympics athlete whose story is inspiring families everywhere. Joining us are Wendy Stacken and Lucille Accetta from CVS Health to talk about caregiving, resilience, and the support that can make a difference. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Wendy, when Nick was first diagnosed, doctors gave your family a very uncertain outlook. What helped you navigate those early days and became such a strong advocate for him?
Well, Nick was diagnosed at 13 months old with an immune deficiency, which is terrifying, but kind of a relief to know what it is that's been going on. And his home care team, his nurses especially, and the pharmacists really helped us understand what that meant, and helped us understand what the IG infusion therapy meant for him. His doctors really did not think he was going to get that far in life. One doctor had told me he won't make it until he's 2 years old. And he also said at the same time, do you want him to live, or do you want him to just survive? And we chose right then and there, we want him to live. We want him to experience things and smile and laugh and all of those things.
Lucille, Families dealing with complex medical conditions can feel overwhelmed. What's your advice for caregivers who may be facing similar challenges today?
Well, first of all, it is very overwhelming and it can feel very isolating. So one of the things I would suggest is really ask a lot of questions, truly build a trusted medical team, doctor, nurse, infusion nurse, a pharmacist. Get on some advocacy groups, you really get some support groups, learn about the condition, and really learn how to navigate the diagnosis as well as the ongoing therapy. And in Nick's case, he's on an immunoglobulin medication, and that's really critical to get started, as you heard way back early in his early life. And that therapy, studies have shown hospitalizations are reduced by 50%. So it's really critical to get onto the therapy. And then alongside that is you want to wrap around that therapy a true dedicated nurse that can help in training and infusing each week, injecting as well. So the therapies are very complex. So having that care team is really important for the family, Wendy, and supporting Nick as well through his journey of diagnosis and treatment. And it's been 30 years on this immunoglobulin therapy as well as nursing care for Nick.
And Wendy, you've watched Nick grow into a Special Olympics athlete over the past 2 decades. What has that journey meant for your family, and what do you hope for other families take away from your story?
Honestly, get these kids involved in Special Olympics if they want to be, or anything like that. It helps them be accepted somewhere. They are a part of friendship groups. They are included. And through that, you do find other parents that you realize you're not alone either. It's just so important. It's so important.
Lucille, what roles do specialty care teams play in helping patients and caregivers manage complex medical needs, and how can they make that journey a little easier?
Yeah, so Dan, specialty pharmacies aren't typically what you see, like you do in the neighborhood or your community pharmacy. It's a very specialized pharmacy that really treats complex, fragile therapies like Nick's immunodeficiency condition, cancer patients, hemophilia patients, pulmonary arterial hypertensive patients. It's a really complex therapies, and dispensing these medications are really critical and really need personalized care and support. And then we give additional unique resources to the families and the patients with 24/7 access to the care of our pharmacists and care teams. They're all very specialized in training in these therapies. And then also in addition is the care that we give with our nurses. So we've had Jackie, his nurse, who's been alongside him over the last several years, and he's had the IG therapy for a good 30 years and a nursing care for 30 years. So if you think about the specialty pharmacy, it's a care team alongside the therapy itself, but also it's all of the support services that are wrapped around it to help the family and help the patient keep on their healthcare journey.
All right, where can people go for more information?
cvshealth.com.
Hey, I want to thank you too for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Have you ever noticed that the messiest family moments are often the one everyone remembers? Whether it's a birthday smash cake or a bathtub full of bubbles, those little moments can become lasting memories. Celebrity chef and TV personality Duff Goldman is here to help celebrate Mr. Bubble's 65th birthday and why a little mess can be a lot of fun. Welcome to the show, Duff. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Dan? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so what is happening today?
So Mr. Bubble called us. Not like the actual Mr. Bubble, the company. Mr. Bubble called us and was like, hey, it's Mr. Bubble's 65th birthday. You guys make cakes. Let's make a giant cake. And I was like, what would be fun here is if we made a giant smash cake for Mr. Bubble, get a bunch of kids down here, let's smash the cake. And then it's Mr. Bubble. It doesn't matter how much of a mess we make. We can totally get clean.
Why do you think smash cakes have become such a fun tradition for so many families?
I mean, I don't know. Have you ever smashed a cake?
No, not yet. So maybe that's
You've
why.
never smashed. Okay. Listen, when we're done here, I want you to go down to the grocery store, buy yourself a cake, and just smash it and smear it all around. You're going to be like, oh, because this is a ton of fun. Smashing cakes is super fun. And it's also like great memories, right? Like, when you put a smash cake, you put a cake in front of a baby and, baby smashes it up and smears it all around and then tastes it. It's like, oh, this is amazing, because not only is it fun and sticky, it's also delicious. It just makes incredible memories. And I thought 65 years of Mr. Bubble, that's a pretty great memory to want to preserve. So that's what we're doing here.
And you're known for your creativity. You're also a dad. How does Messy Play help kids learn and explore?
You can watch all the documentaries you want, and I love documentaries, but to really learn about the world, you got to get out in it. You got to touch it. You got to taste it. You got to wipe it on your clothes. You got to roll around in it, right? You got to make a mess. And I think that knowing that after you make a big mess, after you roll around in the dirt, you're going to get a bubble bath. It sort of takes away the fear of getting messy in the first place. And I think it really encourages kids to just get out there and be filthy, because you can always get clean. And sometimes getting clean is more fun than getting dirty.
And after all that fun, there's another lesson for kids and a chance for parents to teach them about what cleaning up. Why do you think that's important?
There's a saying that the mess in your home is the mess in your mind. And really helping kids understand that being in a space that is clean, keeping yourself clean, your kitchen clean, if you're about to cook a meal, do you want to cook it in a dirty kitchen or a clean kitchen? Right? I can't handle when my kitchen's dirty. And so I think working with kids to really understand how good it is for your sort of emotional well-being to be clean, it's never not important.
So what's one fun tradition you have with your own kids?
Well, we like to road trip. My daughter drove across the country when she was 4 months old and absolutely loved it. And we go to a ton of national parks. So we get our national parks pass every year. We go to tons of parks. When we're done here, my family and I are going up to the Redwoods, which is an incredible place if you've never been there. But we like getting out there. We like hiking. We like tramping through the woods and collecting rocks and picking up driftwood on the beach and, picking up bugs and doing all those things and eating breakfast at gas stations and all the stuff that you're out there and you're making a mess, and it's fun to get clean after you've been out there making a big mess.
All right. So where can people go to learn more and celebrate Mr. Bubble's 65th birthday?
To keep the celebration going, they can go to MrBubbleBirthday.com.
Duff Goldman, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Dan, thanks for having me, man.
And that is it for Rise Unwind. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. You can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Just look up at Rise Unwind. And until next week, that was the show we like to call Rise and Unwind.